when you managed to, I know you got the guys in on Christmas Eve, you managed to kind of put that to bed now, almost what happened on Friday?
Yeah, it was a disappointing way the game played out. We came in, we had a look at it, I've watched it back a few times, you know, it's disappointing the outcome of the game, because a lot of the game was good, a lot of the game was very good in terms of what we tried to do, what our game plan is, what we felt we could hurt the opposition, and I felt we'd done that. If anything, being critical, we could have scored more goals. We nullified them to pretty much nothing the whole game. We're a team that's got good attacking threats. They like to put the ball in the box. We kind of nullified that as much as we could, but then we've got a 2.5 minute spell within that game that didn't go away, and that cost us 2 points in the end.
Do you have to kind of balance out? You obviously have to look at what happened in those 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but you've got to, when all the dust is settled, accentuate the positives as well, because like you say, there was a lot.
Yeah, when you speak after the game, I mean, that wasn't the time, that's not the time to come out and say, oh, you know, we done well at this, we done well with that. It's still, the emotion's still there, it's still a game we wanted to win, a game we should have won, no doubt we should have won that game. But then after the game, yep, we sat in here till late and looked at it back, and everything that we worked on, everything that we looked at doing to the best part, we done it, and we done it well. We scored a couple of good goals. We could have and should have scored more. And then I said within the game, everything we're looking for instead of the stats, possession, territory, creation, corners, we were strong. Again, it was just that being clinical in both boxes that's cost us again.
How do you plan for this game ahead? It was a very different game from the Rangers.
Yeah, it's another difficult game. It's like every game that we go into, we'll go in and give our best account of ourselves. We'll go in to try and win the game. That won't change. That will never change. It's a very difficult one for us. We need to put the game at the weekend to bed now and take as many positives as we can out for it and be as prepared as we can be.
Obviously, you had, I think, 4 defenders in the squad on Friday, and Paul McGinn was maybe just coming back. Was it a kind of struggle to get a back four together? Was that an issue for you as well going into that game?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are low. Numbers are low, not just at defence. I think Paul's trained with us very, very short time. He's not done as much prep as we could, but I thought he went in for the best part of the game. He done really well. That's kind of consistent throughout the squad in terms of numbers. Even late in the game, you look at the trends in the game just now, and most of the top teams especially are having those impact at the top end of the pitch, 60-70 minutes where you can bring on, and it was something that we planned for the Kilmarnock game. Ideally we wanted to win the game and win the game as quickly as we could, because we don't have that kind of impact at the top end of the pitch in terms of a striker that we can bring on and really commit and give us a different dimension late in the game. That's something we were aware that we didn't have as well, coming on the pitch late in the game. So yeah, I think that we're happy with the players we've got. It's just the number just now. We've got a couple missing that are big players for us, and hopefully we'll have them back as soon as possible. Plus potentially adding a couple in January.
Steve, you're looking at tomorrow's game. Is it how big a chance is this to make history? It's the first time for quite some time that you could potentially beat Rangers at Ibrox in the game.
Yeah, that's the goal. I think we spoke about it after the game. At the weekend, regardless of who it is, we'll put the team out to go and win the game. That'll be it's difficult. It's very difficult, like you said, the stats and the history of that. I mean, I wasn't in charge for a lot of those games, you know. And we can put the best team out that we can with what we've got at disposal now, and give the best account of ourselves as possible, and put a game plan together for us to go and hurt them as much as we can. It's a team that's got a new manager, new ideas. They'll look different. You know, they've won the 3 games that they've come in. They've showed a side of them when, even if it's not perfect, they're still getting over the line. So it's a game we're looking at constantly when we're looking at what we can bring to hurt them also, but being fully aware of what they've got, but what we can do to hurt them, as always.
It'd be an opportunity for you and for this team to put down a marker, wouldn't it?
It would. Every week is that. That's why I think when we were away, the amount of work and the prep that we got put into during the World Cup break when we came back was the St Mirren and the Kilmarnock games to really give us that platform to then go into these 2 away games with real confidence and purpose and having more points. Of course, we've got the St Mirren game still to play, but going into those games being in a really good position on and off the pitch. So yeah, it's not quite worked out that way in terms of personnel. You know, we're really short, but yeah, every game is a chance for us to go and put down a marker for sure.
Would you have been playing back in those days, or was that before your
I was
time?
probably playing. I can remember we won a game there. We won a game. One of my first games against Rangers. Yeah, was a game that we won. So, but that's kind of way back to, I think it was Andrei Kanchelskis and Rod Wallace and these guys I was playing in that game. So that's how long ago that was.
But that would be great to get that again, though, wouldn't it? To get that feeling.
It would be any chance to win a game here in this league is difficult, as we've seen. It's a very tight league. Every opposition's tough. Everyone feels they can beat everyone else, and we've seen that for the most part this season with how tight the league is, and that'll be no different tomorrow.
You already touched it on Friday, Stevie, but particularly in the final sort of games, what is it the squad need to start doing to hold on to victories when they happen?
I think in the game, if we're speaking about the Kilmarnock game, we can speak about kind of formations and game plans and style and things like that. But I mean, there's no getting away from the fact that regardless of how far after the game we are, the position we found ourselves in, the way we were playing, the opposition going to 10 men, regardless of any of these things that I've mentioned there, we should be winning that game. I think when the players are on the pitch, they need to take ownership of that also. I'll take responsibility for not getting the 3 points there, but I feel like the players as well, like we spoke about, like they've spoke about, is when you find yourself in that position, it's something we need to work on for sure. But they need to take responsibility and be professional enough when to find yourself and the good work that they've done to get into that position to then see it over the line.
It's quite a tough run of fixtures coming up. Does that add more pressure to get points on the board?
Yeah, it's like every time you speak, it's the tough run of fixtures. So every game's tough. I feel like I repeat myself with that, but every game, regardless of who we're playing tomorrow, it's going to be a tough fixture. Every game we put in is tough. We've been good in most games this season. We've been really good. It's just converting those performances and the big moments in the game. We need to be better at in certain scenarios. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, no doubt.
You talk about players taking responsibility. Did you find that on Christmas Eve when you came in that there was a lot of self-analysis going on when you discussed it? What happened there?
Yeah, but we do a lot of analysis. We look at video, we go into detail, and we ask the players to get involved, which they do. I think we've made 1, 2, 3 mistakes for the first goal. I don't think the goals need over-analysed. I don't think you need to be an expert to analyse the 2 goals. It was a 2.5 minute period. A defensive mistake from a couple of defenders, and second's a wonder goal for 30 yards. I mean, it's 35 yards, so it's 2 goals that happen very quickly. It's not goals that we need to over-analyse, but yeah, there was things in those goals still that we could have done better.
Looking at the squad, Stephen, like you say it's a bit thin, but you made a signing recently. Is there anybody you're a bit close to at this point?
Yeah, it's a constant. Again, we're speaking about it. I mean, I'm doing phone calls. I was on a Zoom call at Christmas Eve at late last night, Boxing Day. I'm on a Zoom call till about 9:30 last night. So it's a constant process. It's constant work. It's like I said last week. It's a landscape that changes every day. Sometimes there'll be a player available that might change. He might come into the team. He might not be available. That's a constant process. It's something we're on. Every minute, every day. It's not a set time that's put aside to it, so it's something we need to be ready for if anything drops, and we can be ready to act on it.
Is there any update on Louis Mope at all?
No, there's nothing to update on Louis. I think when there will be, the club will put something out. I think we're still at the mercy of Burton with that in terms of where he's at. But right now he's not fit to play.
Was it during the Sligo games that Shane Blaney got it down?
Yeah, of course it was. It was a player that plays with personality. He's a good player. He's a player that we feel like we can improve as well and progress. It's a position we're short in as well as other areas in the pitch. He's come into the group and he's been a good addition already. And yeah, look forward to having him available in January.